Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Franklin here, and today I'm gonna make a very interesting video for you guys. I've noticed a lot of comments from the VGC stuff was pretty interesting. I read everything. It's not like I glance over and not bat an eye when it comes to some of the stuff you guys are saying, because honestly, I do want your guys' opinions. Before we get right into it, though, please like and subscribe. That is the best way to support me for free. So let's get into it. So I don't know what the title of the video is gonna be. Maybe it's gonna be along the lines of why do Pokemon players gen Pokemon. We gotta understand what genning is. So obviously, genning is the use of using third-party software in order to create a Pokemon from that software and then transferring them over into your current copy of whatever Pokemon game you're playing right now. It's been around for literally the longest time. We've had stuff like this. We've had action replay. We had power saves. And of course, now we have PK Hex for the Nintendo Switch because of the inaccessibility of the save files. So, why do people do it? The answers are pretty obvious. I mean, one, it saves a bunch of time. That's the biggest opinions that I've seen out there, that players save a lot of time instead of catching a Pokemon or breeding it and then giving it all these resources like vitamins and then PP ups, PP maxes, mints, and all that stuff. They can simply create a whole team of six, whatever they want, after testing on Pokemon Showdown or whatever simulator they're using. And they can literally create a team in probably like 5 minutes rather than spending 5 days or 2 weeks having a complete team from scratch. And of course, those time variables factor on what you're trying to get or what exactly you're looking for in a specific Pokemon when it comes to competitive play. Now, me personally, I would say, yeah, Jennings does have its flaws and it also has a lot of benefits. More so benefits because it saves time, resources, and honestly, if you are a person that's playing like top tier VGC competitive play, it might spend a little money too because again, you're traveling to places, you're traveling to regionals, nationals, worlds. And of course, after what we've seen in worlds, it seems like the opinion of Jennings Pokemon just seemed to rattle the community, quite a bit. So I'm here to tell you, from what my seen in my experience, yeah, Jennings is very apparent VGC. Like if you haven't figured that out yet, I mean, it's all over. It's all over the world. It's out there. It's news. It's not really breaking news. It's been around for quite a while. It's just that the players themselves they don't want to admit it, and that's fine. I mean, I have nothing against VGC players. I have nothing against people who gen, but if you're gonna be at least truthful, at least be honest to yourselves. And of course, when it comes down to it, another opinion that I've seen as well is that, well, if you win VGC, it's not because you gen your Pokemon, it's because you essentially are one of those most skilled players on the planet Earth. And to that degree, you're right. I mean, again, if you are breeding a Pokemon versus genning a Pokemon from scratch, both from scratch, and they have the exact same stats, exact same IVs, exact same natures, exact same accessibility. For example, with the bottle caps and vitamins, yeah, you're not gonna tell the difference. You won't. And I'm pretty sure the hack checks you see in VGC aren't really going to be very, keen about it because again, if you can't tell between this and that, and the hack check are saying, hey, they're both legal, is the player genning in the wrong, or is the hack checks not doing their job completely? And that's what led to a very chaotic, divided fan base when it comes to this kind of stuff. I've seen literally these three comments that I've seen are on my videos. They're all over my videos. People crying about, oh, VGC players, when they get caught cheating and, that's what they get. That's what they deserve. People said that on my videos. They've said that, not me. I personally, I'm watching from a neutral standpoint. And I've literally have seen all these comments. You can probably find multiple comments of these all over my videos. You can probably see my other channels too. Uh, it's kind of funny that these same people that are, making fun of VGC players are the same ones that are in Discord bots or Discord channels looking for the exact same Pokemon using their little showdown templates and they get a miraculous Hoopa or whatever, even though they didn't get it originally from their own Pokemon Home stuff. And I will say this, like I've always told people about this, but if you are a VGC player and you are playing in regionals, nationals, worlds, steer clear from getting Gen Pokemon. Steer clear from your supposed trading buddy that happen to have these Pokemon for you that are supposedly legal and legit, because it's going to come back to haunt you. I guarantee it. And sure, you may never get caught, but from what we've seen at Worlds, especially that it was in Japan, they were going to be a lot more strict. Now, from what I've heard, this is just hearsay, shearsay. I've heard that prior to Worlds, a couple days prior to it commencing, the Pokemon Company or whoever is responsible for these tournaments sent out a letter saying if you get caught using gen or altered data within your Pokemon games, you're going to get DQ'd, so don't try it. So I guess if that's a fair warning, then it's fair game if you got caught. But like I said, if you are a VGC player or aspiring VGC player that wants to compete in Worlds, be the best you can ever be, no pun intended, the best no one does, but just don't do it. Just don't do it. I know it's a grind, and again, that happens to be the biggest issue with Pokemon, you know, the grind of creating a full-on competitive team. Yeah, you might as well get used to it, because I'm pretty sure Pokemon themselves are like looking at Japan Worlds and be like, yeah, we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. And you shouldn't be really surprised, because it's all over. It's all over Pokemon games, Pokemon Home. If you even check Pokemon Home and you look through your mobile device, literally the first thing that pops up into your account in the news panel is the use of altered data in Pokemon Home. Like, they have warned you. They have warned us plenty of times. In Pokemon Sword and Shield or Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, it's a terms of service. If you're using altered data, if you get caught, they have the right to ban you. And Sword and Shield, pretty much, I think that's when it really started to kick in, because again, the use of PK Hex skyrocketed afterwards. And then Scarlet and Violet, we all saw what happened. And even like altering your Nintendo Switch, if you're the one genning Pokemon and you're using Nintendo Switch for custom firmware, they have the right to ban you if you get caught. Now, how you get caught is a completely different story. If you're smart enough, you'll never get caught. I've tried it several times. Not saying I am a proponent of genning, because I'll admit I've used genning sometimes, but I never got caught. I never got banned because I do my research. But I don't compete in VGC, so that's probably why they're not on my ass. But again, they have warned us plenty of times to not do this kind of stuff, and they have the right to check you. They have the legality checker, the hack checker. They have the actual judges at these events that will ask for your team and submit a team paste or whatever it's called. Yeah, they have the right to do it. So there you have it. But let's understand one thing. How can we, or how can Pokemon prevent this kind of stuff from happening? As crazy as it sounds, I think there needs to be more accessibility. They have taken strides forward when it comes to having that feature implemented in a lot of Pokemon games. First, it was the bottle caps, which was pretty massive. You have IV training and all that stuff. That's always pretty good. And then in later generations, we ended up getting, the transferring of egg moves without breeding, which is pretty good. But the biggest one was like the mints, the nature mints, where you can change your Pokemon's nature artificially, quote unquote. And that was pretty massive as well. I still think we need to have an item that just decreases IVs. Remember, that 5 IV Enamorus or Golden Go with 0 speed IVs, yeah, I mean, that's very suspicious. Any legendary Pokemon with 5 IVs prior to any use of bottle caps, yeah, sounds a little too good to be true. And if you look at the mathematical odds of trying to get a Pokemon like that, it is not impossible, but it's just damn right near impossible. And I'm talking about one out of a trillion at that point. I don't know the exact calculation off the top of my head, but I think Pokemon still has an accessibility problems. And it's kind of strange saying that considering that there's always tons of players competing in VGC every year. That's a little bit ironic in itself. So I think literally if they give us items that lower IVs or change IVs manually, like, dude, that's it. That's all you need. And probably there's more stuff like farming PP maxes because I think you can only get a certain amount of PP maxes in the game. I'm not really sure from Scarlet and Violet perspective, but it's usually PP maxes they only have like one per save file. I know you can buy PP ups nowadays, so that's a little helpful. But the biggest one to me are IVs. If you can change IVs, heck, if you can change EVs manually to a certain degree as well. I know we do have the berries that reduce the EVs, but like having our Pokemon, let's say they max out their EVs and there's an NPC in the game that manually changes the numbers for us. That'd be pretty awesome. But yeah, I would say like those two, the IVs and EVs, manipulating them like to even more, uh, like kind of like Pokemon customization when it comes to those kind of stats. Like that would be really helpful. I think that you can see a dramatic decrease in potential genning in VGC and overall in genning in the community because it's a really big issue right now. But anyways, that's all I have for this topic. Like I said, I made a video about this like 2 years ago. People seem to not catch on, but now because of all this stuff happening, like yeah, everything is now under a microscope. So let me know what you guys think about this. Do you guys agree with what I say? If not, then let me know in the comment section down below. And that's all for today. It's your boy Franklin signing out. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe. Peace.